with everybody else, and
Right.
this like par is set by like some guy telling us that like Fang, kind of not Netflix, but like that group of
Yeah.
like companies is the best to like internet or something, and
Or work
so
at, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so I think like I mean, even in MET, I think it was like it was really like it wasn't actually intense, but in my head it was really intense.
Yeah.
In that like I would compare myself constantly to other people, and like really now like as a senior now I'm like, you know what, like you do you, dude. Like
Yeah.
it's just like it's very much
I
everybody's on
feel
their
that.
own path, and like people at Berkeley in general are like so smart and like so hardworking that like you're gonna
Right.
do whatever you want to do. Like it doesn't matter that you didn't get a Google internship your freshman year. Like if that's
Yeah.
your goal, like one day you're gonna make it. Like
Yeah.
I think it's like you can't compare yourself to like somebody else when you don't know the whole story. So like it's really like I
Right.
started off with internships at really small companies, and
Same.
like now I'm at a job that I really like, I hopefully will truly like, and I think I will like. So
Yeah.
like definitely like I think people at Berkeley don't worry about it too much, you know?
Yeah, and you always have to like start from somewhere, right? And like
Yeah.
sometimes that like start is not, the greatest, but as long as you like work hard and you're really passionate about like said thing, like you'll get
Mhm.
there. I think like sometimes when
Mhm.
people are really passionate um about something, it will lead to like great results. But like when you aren't really passionate about it, but you're doing it
Mhm.
because someone else is telling you to, maybe like your parents are telling you to do something, or like maybe you're like, oh, I got to do this to, maximize my net worth. Like I don't know. I don't know if like you'll succeed because you might be in that
Yeah.
profession for the wrong reasons. Unless you're in like banking, maybe. I think that makes sense if you're like maximizing your net worth. I don't know.
Dude,
But
I don't know anything about banking.
true, true. But yeah, I think that's like a really important process is
Mhm.
like all the successful people you see and like a lot of people I look up to, like Sneha and like other people in TVG, like Ruth, for example, they are all
Yeah.
started from, really humble beginnings, and they like worked really hard to like get all these opportunities and like meet all these different people. So as long as you put yourself out there and you put a lot of passion and effort into it, I think like anyone can succeed. But
Yeah.
maybe I'm too naive, but yeah.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think like when you do something that you really care about, like I've always been the kind of person like I just don't do well at things I don't like to do. Like it's very
Right.
simple to me. Like I
Yeah.
don't like it's a very like obviously I will do like in a dire case of need, obviously I'll do whatever I need to do. But like
Right.
if I have a choice, I'm gonna do the things I love and I'm gonna be better at them because I want to do them and I have a passion for them.
Hmm.
And like that's something I say a lot in my interviews. And it's something that I think a lot of people usually like if I don't know, there's gonna be an interview tip, IDK,
Hey,
but
interview tips.
hey, don't use this if you don't like actually believe it. But like I think like I always like to say like what is something that you think like is maybe like a weakness or not really a weakness, but like what is something like that you think is very unique about you. Like I always feel like I think I do the best at things that I really care about, and I don't tend to like I don't do well at things I don't want to do. And
Right.
I always kind of say that as like I want to do this and I'm going to put a lot of my passion towards it because like I
Hmm.
want to do this. And I think usually most people in life are like that. Like nobody's like,
Yeah.
nah, I like doing things I don't want to do.
Yeah.
So I think like as long as you yourself have time to think about what you want to do, and I think that's hard, especially in today's like world. Like it's very easy to be like, what are you passionate about? And then like people expect you to have a very like honest like yes I have an answer, and I think I struggle with that a lot where it's like I don't know, like I'm like a 21-year-old like
Yeah.
IDK, and especially when I was back in college like choosing a major I was like I'm 18, like what the hell do you want me to know? But
Right.
I also sorry but also I don't know if you're allowed to curse on this podcast,
You're fine. Yeah.
but okay cool, but yeah I think like just like what you like doing, like you don't have to like call it your passion or like your meaning in life, but like
Right.
just like find out the things you like to do, try to optimize so you do them more often, and I think like
Hmm.
you'll put yourself on a path to success. At least that's like my opinion on things.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. While I was recruiting for like full time, like this semester,
Mm-hmm.
I was deciding between like GitHub and this financial company. And this financial company like was really nice during the whole interview, except for the last one where they like kind of like um, what's it called? Pressure tested me. And
Mm-hmm.
they were like saying like, oh, like why do you use Python? Like that's a trash language. or like, why do you go to Berkeley? And I was like, what?
That's a
Please
trash
stop.
college.
Yeah, I was like, please stop. And they're like really mean to me, but like I somehow passed it, whatever, right? And they gave me
Yeah.
they paid me like 40% higher than GitHub. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I should take it.
Yeah.
Like they're paying me a
Mhm.
lot more. And then I went to their day, like where you can like
Yeah.
learn a lot more about their engineering side of things. And they're like, we're a tech company, but like they're really a finance company. But
Got it.
they're like, oh, like X, Y, and Z, um, like we do a lot of philanthropy, like we have a lot of cool technology. And then they talked about a lot about all this stuff. And then I talked to the engineers and it just didn't pass the vibe check. And I think like
Mhm.
it's really important to like not necessarily just say yes to everything. Like it's important to, do as much research as possible for, these professional opportunities, because for me, what matters is like the people I'm working with, and what matters is like I enjoy working with the people, and I enjoy the product. And sometimes like you have these opportunities that seem like really good, but it's important to like take a step back to make sure that you would be happy in that position.
Mhm.
Like let's say you have one like where you're working like 40 hours per week, and you have one that's working like 70 hours per week, right? Like that's a trade-off, and you have to be like willing to acknowledge like, oh, I'm gonna be mentally suffering if I take this job,
Yeah.
right? So that just reminded me of like my own experiences recently. I think it's really important to look at the work you're doing and reflect if you'll be happy in that position for like future positions,
Mhm.
because you don't want to regret like 1 year from now, because usually when you like sign a job, you'll probably be there like at least a
Yeah.
year, right? You don't want to like hurt yourself mentally and physically throughout that process, even if you're like making a lot of money. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the vibe check is really important.
Definitely.
Like
Yeah.
I think like I don't know, like I guess most people call it a gut feeling or whatever, but the
Yeah.
vibes, I feel like though like that's something I really care about. Like my first internship was like at a much older company, and it was really old people. And one, it was an enterprise company.
Right.
And it was interesting, but I just like realized how much I cared about like the people I work with, like one being my age, and like two,
Right.
like I wanted to care about the product so much more. And
Same.
like that's why I was like, oh, I want to work on like more of a consumer product, see if I like that. And then when
Right.
I came to Reddit, like one, like the interview process
So
was
cool.
so fun. It was just
Yeah.
like it was like I loved the manager, like my hiring manager, and like my like then like now I guess my manager at the internship. And like I just like I had a lot of fun during the like interview process. Like we made a lot of jokes, and like it was just like it felt like a place where like I didn't have to like be really intense or like very different than who I am naturally. And then also
Right.
they seemed really to care about the product, and like they really like they were there for like a reason that was more than just like money or like some reputation or something else.
Hmm.
So yeah, I definitely think like of course like up to a certain extent a lot of like salary and other things matter, but I also think like if you're going to stay at a company for a long time and you're going to enjoy working there, like the people you work with like matter like the most. Like that's why
Definitely agree with that.
TBG, like I think like that was
Mhm.
like I only applied to TBG my second semester at Berkeley, after I applied to like every consulting club on the earth my
Yeah.
freshman first semester, because like I just like the people. And like I like got really lucky and I got in, and like I still continue to love the people, obviously.
Yeah.
So I think like the vibe check in college, and the vibe check
Definitely.
for jobs
Vibe check is
is
very
like
important.
very very important. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember like when I applied to TBG during like the meet and greet part, I was talking to like, I think I talked to like Arushi, Sidra, and Mahima, and definitely passed the
Mhm.
vibe check. I was like, wow, these people are like super passionate about the social sector and are super
Mhm.
like driven and talented and inspiring. And
Yeah.
also talking to like Annie and Ruth, like those types of people, you're like, oh my gosh, what? These
Yeah.
guys are
Yeah. They're just like
so
so well
amazing.
spoken, very
So
passionate, like really great
eloquent.
people.
Yeah. I was like, wow, I want to be like them. So then